One sunny afternoon, with a gentle breeze carrying the scent of wildflowers, Oliver decided that today was the day he would step beyond the familiar and enter the old forest. As he crossed the threshold, the sunlight dimmed and the air turned cool and earthy. The towering trees formed a canopy that filtered the light into scattered beams, casting mysterious patterns on the forest floor. The forest seemed alive, as if it were holding its breath, waiting for him to take his next step. Oliver's steps were cautious at first, but curiosity pushed him forward. The deeper he ventured, the more alive the forest seemed. He heard the soft rustling of leaves, the distant chirp of birds, and the occasional scamper of unseen creatures. The air was rich with the scent of pine and damp earth, and shafts of light revealed tiny motes dancing like golden fireflies. Suddenly, a low melodic voice called out, "Who dares step into the realm of the old forest?" Startled, Oliver looked around and saw an old man with a long white beard and eyes as deep as the forest itself. He wore a cloak made of leaves and branches, and his hands were weathered like ancient bark. His presence seemed to blend seamlessly with the forest, as if he had grown from the very roots of the trees. "I'm Oliver," he said, trying to steady his voice. "I wanted to see what was beyond the village." The old man nodded slowly. "I am Elderwood, the guardian of this forest," he said. His voice was deep, resonant, and seemed to echo among the trees. "Few have dared to come this far. But you must know, the old forest is not just a place, it is a keeper of stories and lessons, guarded for those who truly wish to understand." Oliver's eyes widened. "Stories? What kind of stories?" Elderwood gestured for Oliver to follow. They walked deeper into the forest, where the air grew cooler and the trees older, their trunks gnarled and covered in moss. Sunlight filtered through the branches, illuminating a circle of ancient stones etched with carvings and covered in green velvety moss. "Each stone holds a tale," Elderwood said. His fingers traced the carvings gently, as if remembering old friends. "This one," he pointed to a stone adorned with the shapes of animals, "tells of the great wolf who learned the value of kindness. And here," he indicated another stone with intricate swirling patterns, "is the story of the river spirit who taught the village to cherish water." Oliver touched the cool surface of one of the stones, feeling a strange warmth spread through his fingers. It was as if the stone carried the heartbeat of the forest. "Can you tell me one of the stories?" he asked, his voice soft with wonder. Elderwood's eyes twinkled like the first stars of the evening. "I will tell you the story of the Tree of Unity," he said, his voice weaving through the air like a song. "Long ago, the animals of the forest were divided, each believing their kind was superior. The birds claimed the sky, the foxes ruled the underbrush, and the deer claimed the meadows. They quarreled and refused to help one another. But one day, a great storm swept through the forest, tearing branches, toppling trees, and flooding the meadows. Chaos reigned, and it seemed as if the forest would be lost. The animals, frightened and desperate, realized that to survive, they needed each other. The birds flew high, warning of incoming danger. The foxes, swift and clever, found safe paths for everyone. The deer, strong and steady, carried the small and weak to higher ground. Working together, they weathered the storm. In the center of their effort, where once stood only broken branches, grew the Tree of Unity, its roots intertwined with those of every species in the forest. It stands as a symbol that strength lies in unity and that harmony can overcome any storm." Oliver looked around, noticing a massive tree in the distance, its branches stretching wide and strong, leaves shimmering with an almost otherworldly light. "Is that it?" he whispered, awe in his voice. Elderwood nodded, a smile of quiet pride on his face. "Yes, and it serves as a reminder that everything in the forest is connected, just as everything in life is. Respect it, learn from it, and you will understand its true power. The forest is more than trees and creatures. It is a living story, teaching those who are willing to listen." As the sun began to set, casting a golden glow that seeped through the branches and painted the clearing with light, Oliver felt a new understanding settle in his heart. The old forest was not just a place of mystery, but of wisdom and stories waiting to be discovered. Each leaf, each stone, each rustle of wind held a lesson. "Thank you, Elderwood," Oliver said, his voice filled with gratitude and a newfound respect. "Remember, young one," Elderwood replied with a gentle smile, "the forest holds many secrets, but it shares them only with those who seek with an open heart. Share what you've learned and you will keep its stories alive." With that, Oliver turned and made his way back to the village. The path felt different now, more familiar, as if the forest itself was guiding him home. He carried the stories of the old forest in his heart and a promise to return, not just as an explorer, but as a guardian of its tales, ready to share its wisdom with all who would listen.